All right, Lewis, here you are on the Kegel Training Center today. After your initial start, we started working with you on throwing the ball down into the lane, not hitting up on it so much, and having it land on the lane like an airplane. And this is your practice of doing that. We did it on the carpet, actually, with the bowling ball up on the carpet. And I had you kind of crash land it first, and then I had you land it smoothly. And now we're on the lanes, and I'm asking you to land it smoothly. You'll see the ball going down into the lane in a smooth fashion. You want to transfer all the energy in your body into that ball, and the vector the ball is taking is going down the lane, not up. So here you see yourself projecting the ball down the lane and transferring as efficiently as possible the energy from your body into the ball, which you did very nicely, actually. We weren't worried about the pinfall or the location of the ball here, just trying to get the feel. And often that feel is the ball is coming off your thumb a little early. And that was a concern of yours, was your fit today. We did check your fit, and we found that the finger pitches probably need to be a little bit more reverse because your fingers are not that flexible. And we tend to drill more reverse here than the new game than ever. And we also noticed that your ring finger span was a little bit too short. So we modified that on your spec sheet. And we drilled a new thumb hole for you with a different angle of your oval and a little bit different size. And it seemed to work pretty well for you as you bowled with that. And we're going to drill up a new ball, a No Rules Pearl. That's going to be your number 2 ball with the new specs, with a little bit correction in the span and some changes in thumb pitch and changes also in the finger pitches, which I think you'll enjoy. So we'll see how that works out for you. We'll ship that to you. So that's how we started today. And the most important thing we worked on today, let's take a look at the different things. We covered a lot of territory. Here's a shot where you made some really nice balance on the finish. Smooth flow. We want to get that left hand under the ball, and you have that done here. And a very nice balanced shot there. And as I said earlier today, balance is a pretty good gold standard for timing. If you can hold your balance, you have to be in pretty good timing to do that. So you can watch this again. Now you're starting the ball in the swing a little bit out, and as you see there, you're releasing your left hand early, and that puts all the weight of the ball into your right hand when you have to kind of grab it there. And that's where I think some of your thumb problems have come from, is having to grab it and tighten your hand and your arm there. And so we worked on a round and down push away, which you did a lot better on later in the day. We also worked on a little bit of slide and getting you closer to the foul line. So let's take a look at some of those efforts. Here you're up in the approach a little bit closer. Good setup. Always want to check your setup. You can think as much as you want here in the setup, and then just press that play button. A little bit more round and down, but still that left hand is coming off the ball a little bit soon. So we had you hold on to it and help use it to place the ball into the swing. Here's a video of the setup changes we made. And again, you want the setup to be extremely comfortable. You want your hand position to be comfortable, and we found out that your hand doesn't supinate or rotate outwards, it's very far. So you don't want to have to force your hand in a position where it doesn't want to go. You want to get comfortable and have everything relaxed and take a nice breath, let it out, and then make your move. That's a little bit more of a round and down push away, but still not where I want it to be. But again, your balance is good, the ball motion is good, and you look a little bit more free and easy here. Watch it one more time. But again, that push away, one of the key things is to go round and down and not extend it so far forward. It should be about knee high in front of your toe. We took the practice ball and practiced with that, just taking 2 steps and freezing in position. You can do that practice at home. You can put a can of beans or a can of soup in your hand and use that instead of a bowling ball, just to practice placing the ball into the swing, knee high in front of the toe on step 2, and then just holding that position, just taking 2 steps. And that'll help you with that round and down placement of the ball, smooth and round rather than any sharp edges look, sharp angles like we see kind of here, okay? So you worked on that and you did well. The ball's coming off your hand nicely, close to your ankle, inside your chin line, which is a big plus. You got a straight swing. And here we're working on the ball placement. Again, this is one where I think we got more of a rounded down placement here. Take a look at it and see for yourself. Yes, definitely more rounded down. And you made a nice strike here. Look at this ball motion. Threw the ball down into the lane. Great ball reaction and wow, powerful strike with very little muscle and very little effort on the shot. This is one of the better shots you made today. So watch this one a lot. And that rounded push away helps you have a freer swing because you're not dumping all the weight into your right arm when that left hand leaves early. It's staying on there a little bit longer to guide the ball and share the weight and reduce the number of amount of energy that you have to hang on to when that transfer occurs kind of abruptly. So this is a good example. Keep working on it. You can perfect it even more, and I know you will. That's your nature, and that's a good thing. And we also tried this swing and slide with a practice ball to get you to learn to slide. See the position here. Swing, gravity, and then slide and release. And that was just with the practice ball. It's very light, so it was kind of hard to simulate, but you did well with it. Push, swing, and slide. Forefoot goes down first. That's what you want to think about, that forefoot going down and sliding on the approach. Let's see it next with the ball. Here it is with the ball. And someone moved that chair in front of our back camera, but that's all right. Push, swing, slide. Very good. And the more you practice this drill, I would do 5 of these before you start bowling in practice. And again, in practice, you want to work on one issue at a time and spend a certain amount of time or shots on that one issue alone and limit your thinking completely to that one specific issue. That will enable you to get better faster. And we try to juggle multiple things in bowling in practice, and it's not as good as when we do focus on one issue at a time. And that takes discipline. It takes mental focus. So you have that ability. I want you to keep using that in your practice sessions. We use the swing trainer pin as well today to give you the feeling of a free swing and not muscling it. When the pin flops, that means you pull down from the top of the swing, which is a common thing for players. So here we go. A little bit of flop here, but not very much. And notice that you slid with a swing trainer pin here. You're able to slide, and that's very important. That'll give you a longer flat spot, better control of the ball, better revs, better speed. We saw your speed go up today from 16.3 miles an hour all the way up to 17.3, a full mile an hour faster. And your rev rate went from the lower 300s to up to 370. Almost got to your goal of 400. And I think you will, as you get more comfortable and practice this, you'll find that rev rate is going to go higher as you become less involved in trying to create revs or create the shot or manipulate the ball and just let it happen by making your decisions in the back in the sit area, then committing to them 100%. And then no matter what, you're going to just carry out those decisions that you've made, okay? And then as soon as you make the shot, you can walk back, start analyzing what happened. That's when you can use your thought processes. And you have those. You're smart, intelligent, and those times after the shot's made, you can use that good thinking process of yours to analyze what happened. Was it you? Was it the lane? Was it the ball? And I encourage you many times to blame the lane, even though you think it may have been you, and make an adjustment. And often, it's just amazing how often that works versus trying to make a better shot or starting to think about your physical game. And that's a temptation, isn't it? When we think it's us, then we start thinking about our bodies, our physical game, and that's usually a very disastrous decision, okay, to think about our bodies. I told you in college, if someone thinks about their physical body during competition, they sit on the bench. So you want to analyze what happened, but you want to avoid starting to say, well, I've got to do this with my hand or my feet or my arm or my legs. You want to say, well, let me just make a move or let me just see my target better. That's an external thought. You want to try to avoid body thoughts in competition, okay? So we talked about that quite a bit. We also analyzed your arsenal today. This is another picture of the swing trainer. And this is very important. This swing tuner gives you the feeling of a free swing, and you need to keep working on that and letting the ball weight control the swing, waiting for the ball weight to bring the arm forward. And that will cause a faster movement of your arm and a freer movement. And it'll give you more revs and more power, as you found out today. Look how much closer you are to the foul line when you do that. You're closer to the foul line because you're taking normal walking steps. You've got a more full swing. It's a free swing, and it gets you up to the line where you need to be versus back so far as you were at the start of the day. So these are things you want to work on. We made progress with different releases today. There's a separate segment on your drive about different releases under the coach's lessons part. It's called axis rotation. There's also a section on ball motion which shows those shots where we leave the 7-pin, the 10-pin, and have a perfect strike. If you remember why you want to make those adjustments using that laser concept we talked about, loft, angle, speed, equipment, and release. We had that arsenal worksheet where you had a little opening in your arsenal in that area where there was no bowling balls, and you had a couple of balls on the same line, which you're going to make an adjustment to that. And this no rules hopefully will fit in there nicely between the balls that you already own and the ones you decide to keep versus those you're going to retire. So we covered lots of turf today. Mental game issues, physical game issues, lane play. You played inside, you play outside, you struck from everywhere today. And that's what I want you to be able to do confidently, is moving anywhere on the lane, adjusting. And when you moved in deep, you want to use that number 3 release, which is the one that you own, that higher axis rotation or more rotation release. But you want to go a little bit slower to give the ball time to make the turn. And when you did that, you threw a perfect strike today. So all those kinds of things I want you to remember and work on. You also threw a straighter shot with that number 1 release down the outside like board 4 and made a strike, several of them as a matter of fact, from the outside part of the lane. And of course you made strikes from your favorite part of the lane in the middle. So now you can play anywhere. Again, make your decisions after the shot's made and then before you step up in the approach. If you're not sure once you get up in the approach about what to do, you need to step off and completely restart and focus again on what you intend to do, make a commitment to it, and then get back up there, go through your setup routine, and once you've made those changes, just press play, so to speak, and go forward. And the release, you don't want to think about your release as much as possible, except in the settee area, what kind of release you're going to do or how much power on a scale of 1 to 10 you want to give your release. You don't want to be thinking about that during your approach, that's for sure. And I told you the release should be quick. It shouldn't be anything where you're trying to create or manipulate the ball. You want it to come off your hand fast, like a hot potato would. If it was hot and it was going to burn your hand, you wouldn't leave it on your hand very long. So you want to be quick with your release. That'll increase your revs as well. Keeping your back of your hand lined up with your forearm is going to give you more revs. And that's exactly what you got today, going up almost 75 to 80 revs and going up a mile an hour in speed. And you also learn to slow down by going 2 steps forward on the approach and holding the ball higher in the setup and having a slower tempo. Remember, the tempo for 5 steps is 1, 2, 3, 4, slide. It could be slower tempo or faster, but the cadence remains the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, slide. You should always have the rhythm. And as a drummer, you should be able to manage that very well because of your musical background, your drumming skills. So just consider that to be something you should be a master craftsman at. And you've got a lot of things in your game I liked. Your straight swing, your ability to balance the finish, your mental focus is excellent, but we want to keep that under control, so don't let that get out of control where you're thinking of too many things or, again, thinking about body thoughts during the approach. That is not going to be conducive to a good game, okay? So I know people have told you lots of different things in the past. Try to sort through what we talked about today. If you have any other questions about that, about what you've been told or what you're going to be told when you get back home, and you'll hear people still saying things that will be contradictory to probably what I said to you here, give me a call or an email so we can clarify those together, all right? We do this for a living here at Kegel. We are pretty good at it, so we can help you get through or clarify most any myth or comment or instruction somebody at home may give you. And unfortunately, people at home can tell you what you're doing wrong. They often can't tell you where the root cause of the problem is. nor can they tell you what the solution is, okay, other than to stop doing it. So that's where a coach who's trained and who's professional comes in very handy. All right. So again, it was a pleasure working with you today. We're going to get you that new ball soon, and these files will be available for you on Google Drive. And if you have any questions anytime, call me, email me. Please also send me a video once in a while so I can analyze it. I'll do that for free. And that way we can work together even though you're back home in St. Louis. Okay? So again, thanks for coming to Kegel. We hope to have you back here sometime in the future. There's lots more we can talk about, lots more to learn once you master these important skills that we focused on today.